Hello, everybody. I know some of you are interested in seeing some extra support steps with creating your graphic organizer. Today, we spent some time talking about using graphic organizers and how writers and authors use GOs or graphic organizers when brainstorming, editing, and developing character and event details right here. All right. We have a lot of different kinds of graphic organizers or GOs available to you based on what your interests are and your preferences. So here's a little list. The KWL chart you've seen, we used that one before when we were studying the brain and health. Also, this T chart we used recently, not only for science and the airplane experiments, the CER, claim evidence reasoning, but here we did a problem solution during the recent story we were analyzing. So there's the problem and solution for the T chart. We also use the concept wheel here when we were talking about fractions and breaking it down into different parts to see the whole concept of fractions. Here's another T chart with characters and events, and here's a story map, or you could even do a flow chart with the title, character, settings, beginning, middle, end, problem, solution, some concept maps. I'm sorry. These are storyboards, and here's another storyboard. This one's kind of like a comic form with bubbles where the characters are talking, and this one is more of like a put the images and text together. And so we are going to be using graphic organizers to help us with developing our events and characters for our short story narrative. We have the author celebration coming up October 30th. So let's take a closer look at how we can use our graphic organizers to make our writing even more exciting and to grow our characters and to develop our events. So it's supposed to be like a helpful tool. So what happens here, if you want to use the Jamboard, you can use it in two different ways to make your graphic organizer. You can either do just insert pictures. So you go to your pictures, you can Google image search, type in, I put in pumpkins, type in what you want to have as your characters, and they have all kinds to choose from. I like the little character pumpkin, and I found my character pumpkin, and then I clicked on it. And after you click on the one that you want to pick, it'll put it into your doc. This was the one I picked. And then you can do your text. You go to the text box and left click on screen, and it will give you a text box. Then you can type it, and you can make it bigger or smaller, however you need to do that. If you need to undo something, use your arrow. It'll help you with that also. And then you're pretty much ready to repeat the process. So you always want to have a setting, characters, events, and these are, for different parts of the story. When you're done, you can either take a screenshot or copy and paste your graphic organizer into your writer's notebook. That's the first step. Then you take all your bubbles, or you can take your information that you have in your storyboard here, settings, characters, and events, and put it into a story. So you will have sentences, right? So if I go back to, let's say, my slides, for example, which is you'll see another story map in there. My storyboards, I have a similar sort of layout. I have 4 columns. And how did I get that? I went to insert, and then I did table, and I just picked my 4, and it will give me those 4 columns. And then you push return or enter to make them nice and big and spread out, the corners like this kind of thing. See, drag it up, drag it down. And I'm going to undo it if you ever need to undo it, because I already have it done. Then again, same sort of search. You go to upload or search the web. If you have it on your computer, you can use it, or search the web. And I put in kittens, for example, right? And then I pick my kitten, and I could change the size, move it around, because they usually are pretty big pictures. Okay, very simple to do. And then I always want to have the bold, the setting, the characters, the problem, the solutions, right? We are working to expand our events. And here, for example, the class finds a kitten, a very simple event, right? You don't have to write your whole story here. But if you get excited here, I started telling about how the kitten has an adventure in the cafeteria. I don't have details. That's what I'm going to put in my writer's notebook. So I would copy and paste it into my writer's notebook, and then I would elaborate and have 3 sentences maybe to tell what was the adventure the kitten had in the cafeteria, right? How did the cat get home? Okay, so I just have the main ideas here, but all the supporting details or the 3 little sentences that tell how this happens goes into your writer's notebook underneath all this information. Okay, if you rather just do a different kind of organizer, these examples can also be found in your assignments area in classwork. You will go to here, create a graphic organizer. Here's a story map, and this is available to you. Your own student copy. You can just write in your title, your characters, your setting, beginning, middle, end, problem, solution, right? You might rather do a T-chart with your characters and events, right? And this is the first step. Okay, we finish the graphic organizer and then we work on the story. So we really keep in mind that the whole purpose of this graphic organizer or GO is to help us put our ideas, our brainstorming onto the text, the paper here, right? And then we'll use that information to make our story better, like part 2 or part 3, or draw it out. And then here's a copy of the storyboard slide if you want help with that. And then you're going to create all the details, customize it. You can use whatever color you want, whichever pictures you want, always school appropriate. Keep that in mind. And you guys always do with grace and respect. And I appreciate that. Thank you for all that grace and respect and courtesy. And then when you're finished, we're going to share, some of the ways that you were able to improve your short stories, your narratives. So at the end, we'll have a form that we'll kind of revisit, and it will help us to look at, what we've kind of learned from using our graphic organizers, why are graphic organizers helpful. Let's ID a few, let's list them. Let's see if I remember, is this a T-chart? Is this a concept wheel? What kind of graphic organizer is it? Is it a story map, right? Is it true or false that graphic organizers can help make writing easier? And we'll review a video to kind of summarize how helpful graphic organizers can be to us as writers, right? That the authors at JHM, Mrs. Downs' class, we use graphic organizers to brainstorm, to create story elements, to show series and events, to edit our writing, right? Excellent. All right, I'm here to help you, and we will continue to practice our writing and improving our writing using graphic organizers this week.